Hi, I'm Calvin, and I'm from Texas, and I'm 10 years old. My favorite bat is the Mexican freetail. I did a lot of my research on it, and I learned a lot about it. My project is about Whitenose Syndrome. Whitenose Syndrome is caused by a fungus, and it's really deadly. It's killed millions of bats, and what it does is it destroys the skin on the bat's wings, and so they can't really fly well, and and it wakes them up in the wintertime, and it kills the bats because they starve to death. It likes cold temperatures, so it likes cold bats. On the inside, the bat's really warm, so they stay warm, but on the outside, the bat's really cold, and the fungus grows on it and turns into the disease. The rest of the bats that hibernate and get Whitenose Syndrome are dying very quickly. In the winter, it snows a lot, so if there are no mosquitoes and bugs, the bats can't eat, and then they eventually die of starvation. And how I heard about it was my local wildlife refuge center brought some bats, and they talked about Whitenose Syndrome, and I went to Carlsbad, and they talked about Whitenose Syndrome, so I thought it was a pretty big deal, so I started looking it up, and I found all sorts of information about it. Whitenose Syndrome started in Abilene, New York, and it spread on the entire east coast of the United States, Michigan, Virginia, Washington, D.C., all those big places. In my research of Whitenose Syndrome spreading, I only did one way because bat to bat seems more effective, but there's actually 3 ways that it can spread. One is bat to bat, the other one is person to cave to bat, and the other one is bat to person to another cave. But recently, Washington State has had Whitenose Syndrome there, and what I think it was a person that doesn't know what he's doing, or someone that just didn't clean their equipment right, and they went up into Washington State and had Whitenose Syndrome somewhere on their body, and they spread it there. What I did for science fair was I did Whitenose Syndrome as my research. I wanted to see if the other bats could get Whitenose Syndrome to Mexican freetails. Here in Austin, on Congress Avenue Bridge, it's the largest urban colony in the world, and in Bracken Cave, it's the largest colony in the world. And it'd be pretty devastating if we lost those 2 colonies. And so I started researching about the 2 colonies, saw that they're really big, and then I started looking around Texas, seeing if there are any places that have caves and the bats have Whitenose Syndrome. So I found Franklin County in Arkansas, and so I started looking at the summer habitat ranges, seeing if they would intersect, and I found out they didn't. They're about 555 kilometers apart, and so we're safe for now with the bats. I studied Mexican freetail bats, so it was really cool to see my study that close. I never knew they looked like that. They call them Mexican freetails because of their free tail. In bats, they have a tail, and there's a membrane that holds the tail in place so that they can turn easier. But Mexican freetails, they have a little bit of membrane, but the rest is tail. They look much like dogs, and they act really close to dogs, and they're really cute.